What's going on, YouTube and cryptocurrency family? My name is Harry, and I'm the Crypto Vet. Thank you for tuning back in. Been answering a lot of questions on Twitter today, so absolutely love all the feedback and all the questions. So I'm going to try to go over a couple of those questions here today. We're going to go over Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, as always, and I'm also going to do a quick dive into HBAR, which was a crypto that I got some exposure to from Credible Crypto, as well as just a quick look at the KCS or KuCoin token just one more time, just to kind of see where we've been since the last couple of videos. So if you like that, if you like the content, please hit the like, hit the subscribe. Super close to 1,000. And if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at XRP Veterinarian, where I do post charts as well as with little quick explanations in there. So maybe if you don't have time to watch the videos, you can maybe get a quick idea of where the markets stand through there. Also links for Twitch, Discord, all the other stuff down below. Let's go ahead and get started though. If we head over to CoinMarketCap, see we're still sitting over 2 trillion, which is awesome. Bitcoin having a little bit of a correction. We're seeing some red here in the markets. If we go over to the biggest gainers, we got a couple new ones in the top 3 from PancakeSwap, OKB, and XVS. Don't know anything about those top 2, but you know, any crypto is going to pretty much pump here as Bitcoin dominance tends to drop. Our biggest losers are the ones that had big pumps here before, of course, experience some small corrections now as people take profits. But let's go ahead and start over here. If we go to the Bitcoin dominance, one of the biggest questions I had in the Twitter and Discord was, you know, Bitcoin dominance has dropped below 50. Why are we not in an alt season yet? Well, technically we are. The alt season is starting as money is leaving Bitcoin and moving to the altcoins. Now, does that mean your specific altcoin that you are invested in is going to go 1000x today or tomorrow? Absolutely not, right? This could happen today, it could happen while I'm recording this video, it could take another week or so. The significance of the Bitcoin dominance is just showing us that people are not wanting to invest as much into Bitcoin at the moment at the current price that it's at, and that they're wanting to put money into altcoins instead. So when we look at this chart, this is letting us know that here back in 2017, June, July, like May, when Ethereum actually broke it and decoupled from Bitcoin, it decreased the value of Bitcoin during this time because it increased in value at the exact same time, right? And then it wasn't until July that all the altcoins did that exact same thing again, plummeting the Bitcoin dominance, right? So by looking at this chart now, we can see that with the amount of money going into Bitcoin versus altcoins, we can see that the money is flowing away from Bitcoin and into the altcoins. So while we are waiting for a pattern in this chart to play out, we can say that it's probably more likely that we could make money on the altcoins versus Bitcoin. So not something that would just happen tomorrow, but the lower we get in Bitcoin dominance, the more likely it is that money will be put into the other coins, and that's our chance to make money and gains off of those. So just seeing a drop in this doesn't mean that we're just going to explode overnight. It just means that sentiment is leaving Bitcoin and moving towards other cryptocurrencies. So I'm looking for a potential drop all the way down to 40. Maybe we even set lower lows in the Bitcoin dominance with things like Ethereum exploding or maybe XRP exploding. Who knows what it is, but if money is leaving Bitcoin and going into the other coins, that is the alt season that we're looking for. So I know a lot of people are just waiting for the one coin that they hold. A lot of people watch me, XRP, to just go and explode to the moon. Unfortunately, it's just not quite how it works. You know, we may see that in the next 1 to 2 weeks, but we don't know for sure. All we know is that now's the time to make money off of altcoins. And again, I'm just a doctor/idiot. This is not financial advice. You know, do your own research, make your own decisions. This is just what I'm doing with my money and my investments with crypto. So if we head over here to Bitcoin, if you guys have been following me, I told you that we would most likely get rejected on this 20 daily exponential moving average, and that we just had a lot of resistance there. And that didn't mean that this is the end. This just means that we would most likely find where sellers would actually get back in the mix, take some profits, and that we would drop down to find where our actual support was. We did drop all the way to the 13 EMA, found support. We also found support on this green line here, which is previous all-time high back before all of this, the Elon Musk pump where we came down, corrected after the next all-time high, and we haven't retested this support since. Well, we did retest it here, and you can see with our volume on this side, we have a lot of traded volume here. We also have the big even of 50,000, which coincides exactly with the 13 EMA. Now, right down below, we have the weekly exponential, the 20 weekly exponential moving average, which I do believe we need to touch just to make me feel good, because we've almost always touched that in every previous bull run before exploding to the upside. Now, doesn't mean it's going to happen again. We could come right back down to 50, find good support because we have the big even, lots of buying incentives from big companies like Nexon, whether or not Facebook actually bought or not. A lot of people are still buying and holding for the long term. So we could just come back down to this 50 before actually bouncing up again. And the best thing, in my opinion, would be to just completely trade sideways in between this area here, which would allow the altcoins to absolutely take off, right? But in the short term, if Bitcoin drops, they're going to take the other altcoins with it until a price is stabilized. Now, right now, we are having a lot of moves with Bitcoin. Like we went down another 5% after 2 days ago, going up from what people thought was the short of the century down to 20K. It pumped up, over 2 days, first day 10%, the next day another 3 or 4%. So this price hasn't technically stabilized yet. Stabilized is where we were at, like right here, where the price didn't range more than 2 or 3% for 3 to 5 days, right? Well, we need to see something like that for a much longer period of time, something like, 14 to 21 days of, less than 5 or 10% drops, because then at that point, money will be flowing in their own chart. Technical analysis for those individual coins will take over versus their valuation to Bitcoin, because then what you'll see is even if Bitcoin does drop a little bit, it may devalue, say, XRP a few cents, but all that will do is fill in buy orders because everybody's bullish on that crypto, and then it'll continue to do its own thing. So right now, as we watch Bitcoin, we can see we pumped up. We started to get into a little bit of a triangle here as we found rejection on the 20 daily, and this is on the hourly. We had where a lot of people bought up supposedly for Facebook news. I don't like to use news as the driver because in the end I think the same thing would have happened. It's just if the news was good enough, we would have closed above the 20 daily and continued up. News was bad. This is why we came down. But either way, I think the sellers were pretty good right up in this area because we dropped down, came up. There's a lot of people who are thinking this might be the top, right? And what if it is? So I think this is just normal market structure here. We actually broke below, came up, didn't make it back, and now we have been slowly coming down. And you can see the measured move for this is putting us right at the limit of our VPVR. And that's right at around 52,100, 52.2. So as we came out of this, we've been rounding over, showing that the buyers are exhausted, the sellers are winning. We actually dropped down. This is the last bit of buyers trying to do it. In my opinion, most likely, this is just going to be a big old Bart Simpson pattern, and we will actually come back down to this trend line or to the 13 weekly exponential moving average, which I believe is, let me just change this one so that way it's on there. Go to 13. There we go. So you can see this is where the 13 weekly exponential moving average would be, had some support, and most likely we will come back down to either touch this bottom one where we have more support to back us up, and then we could potentially be forming either a big reverse head and shoulders, who knows. But as of right now, Bitcoin is stuck between support and resistance. So the longer we trade sideways, the better it is for the altcoins. And, if we were to break to the upside, that still could be good for the altcoins, but in the sense it's going to devalue them. So right now, Bitcoin's at a crucial point. In my opinion, I do think we will come back down if we break this area that we are at right now. Just as quickly as we came up, we're going to come right back down. We're going to see a big red dildo candle just right all the way down to the bottom. So for now, I'm still waiting. I haven't entered any trades on any alts or anything, just been slowly accumulating some. All right, if we head over to Ethereum here, we can see Ethereum on the weekly chart against Bitcoin. We've had this 3.5-year resistance that we actually got above, came back down and confirmed, and now we're finding resistance right here at the 0.236 fib. And this is a trend-based fib from way back at the low in 2016 to its all-time high to the low we had back in March of 20 as well as in September of 19. So by looking at this, we can see that the last time we had an alt season back at exactly 4 years ago, when Ethereum broke through the 236, it had 1 week, 2 weeks of finding this fib line as support before absolutely going parabolic against Bitcoin in its pairing. Now, could we see this again? Yeah, absolutely, because right now we have yet to even retest this since back in August of 2018, and that was just to see if it would hold as support. So breaking this as resistance would be a very, very key spot to see Ethereum absolutely take off. So, and Ethereum did lead the way back in April, right at the end of April, beginning of May in 2017 for the little mid-year alt season before Bitcoin took back over. Now, if we look at Ethereum against Bitcoin on the USD pairing as well as the Bitcoin USD pairing, we can see that Ethereum is actually in this ascending channel here. And a lot of people are asking me when I would long. Well, Ethereum, I haven't had the best success on trading unless you can catch it right at the breakout. But most of the time, by the time I catch it, I think it's a little too late, so I usually just sit back. But if I was to take a long here, I would actually just wait until we closed a 4-hourly, either above this trend line here, this upwards one, or I would wait for a good correction and I would be trying to long anywhere on this 20 daily exponential moving average or the bottom of this channel. Now, if you see Ethereum versus Bitcoin here, you can see that the patterns are different. We've had a steady uptrend over the last, 2 days here, 4 days on Ethereum. And the only reason Ethereum's getting pulled down is because Bitcoin's taking a shit, right? So if we can get a break of structure here and Ethereum gets above this ascending channel, and it looks like Bitcoin may actually trade sideways or actually bounce, that would be the best time, in my opinion, to actually long Ethereum. So right now, best case is to accumulate, because if we did something like what happened back here for Ethereum, we're looking at a 0.1 as far as valuation to Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's 50,000, 0.1 is going to be a $5,000 Ethereum if you want to translate the BTC Ethereum to USD. So, and we could easily be seeing previous highs, or at least maybe a continuation of this downtrend, right, if we did have issues. So we could still be seeing at least a pump up to somewhere in this area. So very, very bullish on Ethereum, and Ethereum did set the path for the alt season 4 years ago. So if we can find some stabilization on Bitcoin, we may be able to have that big alt season again, especially with dominance dropping. So now if we move over to XRP, we had the previous uptrend that we were in on XRP. We had our pump, and then we found our top, and we've been downtrending in this channel here all the way down to where we found a bottom at around 93 cents to $1. Now we pump back up, and we're finding resistance again on this line. So it's the previous uptrend support. Now it is resistance, and now we are in some sort of symmetrical triangle. If you've been following me on Twitter, I've been stating that I'm waiting for us to get above this before I start entering into a long, only because we haven't, changed and broken away from Bitcoin. There's a lot of resistance here that we want to turn back into support. We can see that if we do get over the VPVR point of control, we've been getting rejected, and we haven't quite yet broken out. Now, if Bitcoin continues to the downside, most likely XRP will fall out of this symmetrical triangle to the downside, hopefully find support on this 20 daily, and then we can go up. And if that's the case, we may have a little reverse head and shoulders pattern. If that was the case, let me, just kind of roughly draw a little neckline. Here we go. We'll just use the point of control. This could bring us right back up to our previous all-time high for the year of right at around $2. So I'm just waiting for that, because XRP just likes to fake people out, and it's mostly because Bitcoin is pulling back at it. Now, there's some potential good news coming on the 30th with the next hearing. People love their news. So there's a chance that we could see some upside on Friday. But I would rather not go into a weekend pump, although we did start one of these on the weekend, I believe, and it turned out to be very, very good. So for me, I am waiting to get above this because it was very, very strong resistance. And if we can get above this, this would be a very good spot, for my opinion, to long all the way up to $2, potentially up to the next leg up, which could be 226 or even the all-time high. So zooming in on that, here you can just see that even on the hourly, when we did get above it, look at how big the wicks are on the upside. So, and even here when we broke above it, I actually got screwed over in this long, came up, went right back down to my stop loss at break even, and it's just the fake outs that Bitcoin causes when it takes a dump. So If we look over here on this chart, I have Bitcoin on the hourly, Bitcoin against XRP on the hourly, and then also the same chart that we had right here. The reason I bring this up is you can see that Bitcoin against XRP in the pairing is having a lot of issues right in this zone here. So as Bitcoin is falling down in this little Bart Simpson-like pattern here, right, with no volume, a big drop there would cause a big devaluation, which would most likely break us down to around the $1.25, maybe even lower on XRP. And right now, there's not enough volume anywhere to show that, you know, XRP buyers are ready to break free of the Bitcoin pairing. We can see that we actually have a decrease in volume here overall, even though the price is going sideways / up a little bit. So in my opinion, XRP bulls do not have control enough to break free and do their own thing yet. So I will just be waiting until we get above this. So in my opinion, good time to accumulate and get more XRP. As far as actually trading it, you're probably going to get screwed until we figure out which direction we're going. All right, so last I just wanted to go over the KCS or KuCoin token real quick, because yesterday when I made the video, we were struggling to get over this resistance here. We actually got above it on the 4-hour, came down to confirm it. I'm still not sold that we're going to be at a breakout just yet, again, because of Bitcoin, but we are fighting right at the golden pocket, the 0.5, the 0.65 fib lines right here. And, you know, if we were to break out, we could see a move all the way up to around $34 or the big even of 30 in a measured move out of this breakout. So the KuCoin token is trying to do things very similar to BNB, and KuCoin is actually the 5th largest spot exchange by volume. So having a competitor to BNB and, you know, the Ethereum like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, and all that, this could be your chance to get in early, because BNB was valued at around $50 for the longest time, and then all of a sudden 10x to 500. You know, KuCoin's at 13 bucks. I think I own about 100 or so KCS tokens just as a, you know, long-term hold to see what happens with this exchange. So, and then last was HBAR. I'm very, very excited about the project that HBAR is doing, as well as where this thing can go. I've been talking about how most likely we would break out somewhere in this area. Unfortunately, Bitcoin dropped, everything went down with it, but HBAR is actually forming a beautiful little head and shoulders pattern here on the 4-hour and formed good support right down in this zone, the 25 to 22 or 23 cent range. So we struggled to get over the 40 to 42 cent part, but if we can break out of this, a measured move up actually puts us back out of the pattern right at this 41 to 42 mark. We could potentially find some good support here and move to the upside. Otherwise, I do think HBAR is a good long-term hold. Very, very good utility token with lots and lots of good partnerships. So I just wanted to go over that real quick, because if we can get a little bit lower, I will buy some more. I already do have a pretty good little size bag, but if we get back down to the 25 cent area, I will get a little bit more. So that's going to do it for today. Let me know if you have any other questions or concerns, and if not, I will catch you guys in the next one.